Good morning. Uh, Today's topic is a very important topic. It's about forgiveness, how God look at forgiveness, and how we look at forgiveness. And are we forgiving to others as God forgive us, or do we just expect God to forgive us, and we're not willing to forgive others? Let me read a little part of the Gospel of John, chapter 8, verses 2 to 11. But early in the next morning he was back again at the temple. A crowd soon gathered, and he sat down and taught them. As he was speaking, the teachers of religious law and the Pharisees brought a woman who had been caught in the act of adultery. They put her in the front of the crowd. Teacher, they said to Jesus, this woman was caught in the act of adultery. The law of Moses says to stone her. What do you say? They were trying to trap him into saying something they could use against him. But Jesus stooped down and wrote in the dust with his finger. They kept demanding an answer, so he stood again and said, all right, but let the one who has never sinned throw the first stone. Then he stooped down again and wrote in the dust. When the accusers heard this, they slipped away one by one, beginning with the oldest, until only Jesus was left in the middle of the crowd with the woman. Then Jesus stood up again and said to the woman, where are your accusers? Didn't even one of them condemn you? No, Lord, she said. And Jesus said, neither do I. Go and sin no more. This story shows an extreme high level of forgiveness, a divine forgiveness, and shows us how God look at things. The story happened 2,000 years ago in a culture that known for its hostility toward women who make the sin of adultery. In that culture, 2,000 years ago, if you've been caught with the sin of adultery, especially if you are a female, you'll be stoned to death. It was part of the law of Moses, and also it was part of the culture. Jesus did an amazing thing here. He did not do what everyone expected him to do. As a rabbi, he has the authority to condemn this woman and stone her. And she deserves so, because she sinned. Yet Jesus revealed how the Father looked at sinners. He started to write down in the dust the sins of these people. And he asked them, anyone who did not commit a sin or never sinned, please stone her first. And because these religious elite know very well that they are self-righteous and hypocrite, and know very well that they sinned many sins against God, they know that this woman maybe even be better than them. They couldn't stand what Jesus did, because their hypocrisy was exposed before their own eyes. And they start to slip away one by one. We live in a time that hypocrisy is the language of many, especially the religious elite and the religious clergy and the religious people that trying to point fingers against other people. But Jesus, who was the perfect one, who actually never sinned, who actually had their only right to condemn people, never condemned anyone, because he came to give salvation, not judgment. I know there's so many people have bad memories, and you may have a person who hurt you a lot, injured you a lot, and it's so difficult to forgive, so difficult to not judge, so difficult to not condemn. But let me remind you and remind myself of something. That we are here. We exist today. We are saved. We are loved. Not because we are worthy of anything of that. But we are loved because He loved us. He forgave us. That's why we should forgive. If you feel that a person is unworthy of forgiveness, remember, you and me and everyone is also unworthy of forgiveness. I'll give a little story that I faced myself. In a festival usually done by the Arab Americans in Orange County, I went with a brother with some tracts and free gospels, try to give it to people. There are people there from every denomination, from Muslim background, from every spot in the Middle East, celebrating the Arabic American culture and community. We went there and started giving tracts, and we met with the